What should you do if you want to create a self-directed, do-it-yourself retirement plan? Where can you go to get professional level advice to help you on this journey? Stay with me. We're not taught a lot about finances in our education system, in our schools, and oftentimes in our homes. Parents, education systems may do their best, but these higher level financial planning skills, like planning for a goal that's 30, 40, 50 years out, like retirement, most school systems, most family homes just really don't give you the skills that you need in order to plan out retirement. That's why a lot of people do hire financial advisors. But one thing I've noticed about my channel is that I have a lot of do it yourselfers in the audience. And I wanted to talk about do it yourself opportunities to save for financial goals like retirement and to be able to accurately project out what you will need in retirement. I don't necessarily condone the do it yourself pathway, but I do recognize it as a very real pathway that millions, even tens of millions of Americans follow in creating their financial future. These are some resources that can help basically take the place of a financial professional or supplement the financial professional in your life. So, first things first, your current employer, your current 401k plan may provide an advisor as part of their services. Sometimes people don't realize this. I would start by asking your human resources or calling the holder of your 401k, whether it's Fidelity, Schwab, Morgan Stanley, whatever organization or entity it is, and asking if there's professional services of a financial advisor provided as part of your 401k plan. I will say probably 30 to 40% of 401k plans do offer the services of a professional financial advisor as part of their 401k plan, but it's very lightly used because most people don't know that it exists and most people don't ask about the services. And it's one of those things, if you don't ask, you don't find out. And so it's not that Fidelity or Schwab or Morgan Stanley is hiding this from you. It's just basically most people don't know it exists and most people don't know to ask about it. One thing I do say in using the financial services of an internal 401k financial advisor, you do have to be very careful. And one of the questions I would ask is exactly how they are compensated. Do they receive a compensation structure from the products and services that they recommend? A few cases, I've seen people get intertwined with a financial advisor that was compensated through commission, and they ended up providing a lot of products and services to the client that didn't necessarily make a lot of sense or add a lot of value to their portfolio. So, first things first, if I'm a do it myself person and I wanted some additional assistance or a second pair of eyes on my portfolio, I would ask the holder of my 401k if they provide contact with a financial advisor or financial professional. If the answer is yes, the first question I would ask that financial advisor or financial professional is how are they compensated? And if I am unclear how they are compensated, or I don't like the way that they are compensated, I would definitely take that into consideration. So, first place you want to look is your currently existing 401k plan to see if you can get some assistance with your do it yourself efforts in planning your financial future. Next, source of information for do it yourselfers and planning your retirement online websites and calculators. So, online websites and calculators, they come in a variety of different sources, and people often use multiple calculators and online resources. But as a financial professional, I can look at these online calculators and online resources and say they're okay, but they are not perfect, not by a long shot. When I'm doing financial planning for a client, I have very sophisticated software that is light years beyond what an average retirement calculator online can provide for you. It can provide all sorts of contingencies, good markets, bad markets, life events that happen. You buy that home, you don't buy that home, you retire at 62 versus retiring at 67. I can basically calculate out different permutations Whereas online calculators, for the most part, are pretty static and they basically provide the same calculation no matter what your situation is. The problem with that is that it's not customized and it's not customizable. And oftentimes people have different situations and different scenarios in their retirement and need something that is more customized and more customizable. What I find that online calculators and websites can provide, it can provide a general direction. Okay, you're probably headed in the right direction, but it can't provide like the granular details of retirement planning. Should you retire at 62 or should you work until 67? Should you pay off your mortgage or should you carry that debt into retirement? It can answer those very fine, very granular details of retirement that, in my opinion, become very important the closer you get to retire, you get to the actual goal of retirement. With online calculators and websites, if you're like 30, 40 years out from retirement and just want to make sure that you're heading in the right direction, an online website or calculator may be perfect for that. But if you're looking for a more granular plan, I hate to tell you, those online websites and online calculators really do fall short. So if you're younger, if you're anywhere from age 20 to maybe 35 or 40 and just want to know that you're heading in the right direction and saving money for retirement, then fine, go ahead and use an online website or calculator. But if you need more granular detail in putting together a plan, you may need to bring in a professional to help you create the details and to flesh it out. For younger people, and this is a good advice for people anywhere between the ages of 18 and maybe 35 or 40, it's really important just to get started. When you're young, getting started is what is most important. It's creating that 401k plan. It's setting up the monthly draw from your paycheck to the 401k plan. It's making sure when that money hits your 401k plan, it's invested. Those are the most important steps. Now, beyond the age of 40, you're starting to get in the wheelhouse of retirement. Most people retire in their early 60s. So you're anywhere from 20 years and closing on the goal of retirement. At that point, it's fine tuning. Are you saving too much or are you not saving enough? Most Americans are not saving enough for retirement. When should you retire? Should you retire at 62? Should you retire at 67? Should you retire at 70? How much of the money should be in a Roth versus how much of the money should be in a traditional? What state should you retire in? Should you work part time in retirement? These are all questions that require fine tuning, that is a different level of questioning. So when you're young, if you're in between the ages of 18 to 35 or 18 to 40, just get started. You don't need to answer all these questions. Set up your 401k account, set up that monthly draw over to your 401k, and make sure that money is getting invested in the 401k every month. Beyond the age of 40, you need to start asking more granular questions about your retirement. When exactly are you going to retire? How much do you need in retirement to sustain your lifestyle? Where do you want to retire? So remember, young, just get started, but beyond the age of 40, you need more granular details in planning retirement. A lot of people get retirement information off of social media. Now, I think social media is quite amazing because I think back 20, 30 years before social media really took off or even existed. And unless you had a broker or unless you had a very wise aunt or uncle in your family that knew a lot about investing, it was virtually impossible to get good, solid information on investing. And now, via social media, there is a lot of information about money and investing out there. Now, I will say this, some of it is good, some of it is great, some of it is bad, and some of it is terrible. As a financial professional, I can easily tell what information is coming across, but I understand for someone who's not a financial professional or someone who's DIY, they may not be able to tell the good, the great, the bad, and the ugly. It's very important that you take all information that you're getting off of social media with a grain of salt because there is some terrible financial advice that can set you back many years in terms of retirement. I think the important thing, like I said, between 18 to 40 is just getting started. Beyond 40, I think people should be asking for more assistance in planning out their financial planning. Now, I know I said, hey, let's try to do financial planning and retirement planning without a professional. But personally, I think that probably 98% of the American population doesn't really have the skills necessary to plan out a successful retirement without getting a financial professional involved. When a person is over the age of 40 or within 15 to 20 years of retirement, I do think it's worth bringing in a financial professional at that point to make sure that they are on path to meet their retirement goals. Now, that could be an accountant or a certified financial planner. And depending on how your financial planner is compensated, it could be worth it to hire an hourly certified financial planner every 3 to 5 years just to look over your retirement account, look over your financial plan, and to make sure that you are on path. It may cost you a couple of hundred or a couple of $1,000 to get this done, but I do firmly believe that most Americans don't have the skills necessary to be able to successfully plan out their retirement without some sort of professional intervention helping them along the way and making sure that they are on path. But the things that I mentioned, looking at your current 401k provider to see if they provide professional advice, online calculators and online websites, just getting started in social media can help go a long way. But to close that gap and to make sure that you are 100% confident in retirement, you're probably going to need to bring in a financial professional to make sure that you actually achieve that goal. So there you have it. Some ways that you can get started yourself in planning out your financial future and retirement. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you like and tell me what you don't like. If you found this information useful, please share and subscribe.